welcome. The first day of the rest of our lives and the opening of South Restaurant, Kitchen, Jazz and Bar. We agonized over the way to position those words and what ways to say and try and communicate what we are and what we're going to be. But we're going to be those three things. So obviously we have a kitchen, kind of a new term in the maybe not a new term in the restaurant business, but maybe an old term, but kind of a way of referring to kind of a more accessible, kind of approachable food, which Paul's heating up some of his fine cuisine now, so we can sample a little bit what he's got going on. So will be a kitchen. Within that kitchen will be a new Southern kitchen, so that's going to connote a new style of food that's kind of emerging in the market now, or the marketplace right now. I'm sure folks in the South would say, what are you talking about? In fact, we were down in Charlotte, and they're like, to them it's not a concept, it's just, that's the food. By a gentleman named Sean Brock, and I know everybody's good on Googling and emailing, kind of looking around, but Sean Brock is a gentleman that's kind of leading up that charge, which is a departure from traditional, or what people typically think of Southern cuisine, which is heavy in fried food, fried chicken, fried catfish and stuff like that, and sauces, biscuits and gravy, and so on and so forth. And that's not to say we won't have those, because they're all very good things. What we're going to open with menu-wise is really to send a message. We'll have none of those things on the menu. We even had speculated or talked about taking the fry later out. We're taking one of the bigger ones out. We talked about not having a freezer. Wasn't really practical, but just to connote that we're going to be doing 7 days a week, twice a day deliveries. So I was here at whatever time this morning, and bang, 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 and the produce is coming in and all that stuff. So that's kind of the culinary direction on a top level. I'll let Paul dial it in. I don't do it justice, and I think he will. Then we'll go into the jazz, and we're in the jazz parlor. Every night that we will reopen, we will have live jazz. And it won't be just all due respect to other establishments in the city of Philadelphia, it won't be just kind of what's being offered currently on the live music landscape. We're going to try and shoot for a higher level. We've already secured the talents of Orrin Evans, who was Downbeats Magazine's Jazz Pianist of the Year for 2014. So he's some notoriety, just happens to be in Philadelphia. So he's going to curate a series where he's going to bring other national artists and sit in with Orrin. He'll tickle the ivories, and everybody else will kind of do their thing. And we also have Gerald Veasley, who is a world-renowned bassist as well. Again, just happens to live in Philadelphia. He'll curate a series too. Currently slated to be called Unscripted, and it's or Flip the Script. So he's going to take current jazz artists that are playing different styles of music and play traditional jazz, which will be our style. So it's going to the jazz parlor will be, we feel, quite an attraction. Todd will get into this a little bit when we talk about the marketing, the outreach, and the activities that we'll do. But we'll have a PR person, PR team, PR firm for the food and the beverage, and we'll have a PR. I guess he's really a person, but / company for just the jazz. I'm sure you guys recognize the name Blue Note in that world. It's sort of the preeminent label in that world. He worked for them for 25 years, so there's a certain amount of know-how there. So we expect that to really, get the jazz out there. And then last but certainly not least, and those who know me know this is to be true, the bar part. We are going to market sort of the jazz, and the dining hall is kind of the first things we lead with. We certainly are going to have a good bar program. We're excited about Bodan Darway joining us as our master mixologist, and Todd and Miles have come up with a great beer list. And like the rest of the place, it's always going to be in flux, always going to be evolving, always going to be changing. And it's going to keep you guys on your toes a little bit, but it's going to make it more exciting. For those who don't know, we have a bunch of other restaurants, so I say that to say we have a little bit of experience in this game, but the reason why I'm making that point is, we have restaurants that the menu doesn't really change that much, and it's kind of is what it is, and there's nothing wrong with that. This will be just the opposite. It'll be designed to change on a weekly basis. In fact, 1/4 of the menu will change every week. We'll figure out the changing cycle at the bar, but it'll probably follow some structure like that. But we have 10 great cocktails that we'll lead off with. We'll have some bottled conditioned cocktails that we'll lead with, and we'll have some mason jars that we'll lead with some cocktails that we'll make ahead of time. We'll have cocktails on draft, wine on draft, and all kinds of great stuff, but I don't want to spoil the thunder for the beverage guys. So that, I think that provides kind of the overview of the place. I guess maybe I should back up. I'm Harrison or Harry. I'm comfortable with either. I'm not going to be comfortable with or not going to expect anything other than sort of just my first name. We're not. I hope that'll be indicative of the type of place we want to run. We just want to be. I just want to be Harry. I just want to be. Hey, can I talk to you for 2 minutes about X, Y, and Z? And I'm hoping. I think the managers that we've chosen, which is a crackerjack staff of managers, if I may say so myself, all sort of share that philosophy. One of the reasons why Dr. Martin was chosen back in the kitchen was just because of that calm demeanor in the face of fire, literally and figuratively. And we all know, we've all seen the TV shows where the chef that goes off on this, kind of gets a little woohoo, kind of contributes to the place, kind of goes woohoo. So we're all going to stay calm, cool, and collected during the course of times that we're, not feeling calm, cool, and collected, shall we say. And then kind of broad strokes, Robert and Benjamin Bynum are our owners. I have the pleasure and honor of being a partner with them and the opening day general manager. I'll let the other managers sort of introduce themselves as they come up, or I'll introduce them as they come up, I guess, more accurately, and just kind of tell from my perspective why we've asked them to join the management team, and we've been very fortunate that they've chosen to join the management team because they have other options, just like you guys do, so we're happy that you're here. I'm sorry there's not as many folks here as we would have anticipated. I think, unfortunately, I sort of said, hey, you can get the information online. Everybody said, peace. So, but there is, some of it will be available online. We just want to make sure you get the information. We're going to spend the next week training you folks, and then we're training another set of folks that will come in after that. So the goal is by next Thursday, either in live scenarios here or online, to get you the information to be successful. If we don't, we look at it as our responsibility to not get you guys the information. So, and if anybody sort of says, hey, I watched this part and it was a little confusing, or you went too fast, or whatever, please by all means let us know, because probably others feel the same way as well. All right, questions for me before I turn the floor over? Comments? Concerns? Okay. We will have the various ways of kind of communicating with us. Obviously, the best way, I think, is just to come up and say, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? But we will have an email address where you can kind of email somebody. We'll have a fax number, we'll have a suggestion box, because we do want to hear from you guys. We do want feedback. We do want to be accessible in terms of that stuff. Because I think everybody that we're working with in terms of the management team has done what you guys are doing. So I started with Robert and Ben, to show my age here, in 1992 at the original Zanzibar Blue. Everybody was not even born yet, I had the pleasure and honor of being a bartender for them while I was going to school here, and then they asked me to bartend 2 nights, and then 3 nights, and then we don't do the rest of those 3 weeks. I'm trying to finish up school now online. Haven't really gotten around to it. Okay, so we've asked. We're gonna ask Ariel to come up next. The reason why Ariel is going to go next is I think we've all been to places where the drink took a little long. The drink wasn't quite what it could have been or should have been, and the food wasn't what it could have been or should have been. But the service experience was such that, cool, this place is okay. That's not to say the food won't be good, the beverages won't be good, but service is really what ultimately is going to set us apart. And there's only going to be so much that we can do. There's only so much I can do, and then in turn, not so much the managers can do. It's ultimately up to you guys to sort of impart what we're looking to impart to the guests. So, without further ado, Ms. Ariel.
Thanks, Harry.
Botwinnik.
Botwinnik, yes.
Yeah, Botwinnik. I got it right.
I was in 2nd grade when Harry was bartending.
Quick to the math.
Yeah, luckily I'm in the 1992 2nd grade, 93